Hi, my name's Mark and welcome to the channel. Today I'm sitting down to open a good bit of mail. I've got some packages here and a handful of letters and postcards from people like you. So I'm excited to sit down, crack these things open, and see what surprises are inside. So let's get into it. So I'll start by saying that this big box is something I bought for myself. It's a Christmas gift to Mark from Mark. So we'll get to that. I'll probably save it for last. If you watched last week's video, you might have heard me mention that I was sick, and during the voiceover I said I'm sorry for my sort of sick, cruddy speaking voice. It's the same situation today. I'm feeling pretty much recovered, but I still have a thinned out voice. And I know for a lot of people who watch, they say that they enjoy listening to me speak, listening to my voice. So I hope that this is not a deal breaker, and I hope that I can get through the video speaking decently. So let's see what we can do. I was just about to mention Gus. As soon as I sat down to gather the packages and mail for this video, he was immediately on the desk. You'll see here, I'll cut to the real footage. Just being a very sweet helper, super roly-poly. Can I sit on the mail? Is that helpful? Can I help you open the letters? What can I do to be helpful? And he's great. So I think he's going to continue to try to help me the whole time I'm here. And I welcome his assistance. Ooh. So I knew this was coming. This is from Brenda, one of my really kind viewers and friends now. And Brenda wrote to me some months ago asking if I could make use of some of her extra ChowGoo interchangeable needle tips. I think they were either extra for her or not her preferred type of needle. I don't exactly remember the setup, but I said of course. I love using my ChowGoo red lace tips. And so I said yes, I will absolutely be able to use the duplicate sets you have, because I always have quite a few projects going on at one time, and I find myself having to sort of borrow the needle tips from one project where I would rather leave them in place to keep everything organized. So thank you, Brenda. This is really sweet, and you've organized them beautifully, so I don't have to do the digging. But these will go right into my set of interchangeable tips. I don't know what this next one is or who it's from. It's an Amazon box, and I don't send myself Amazon packages to my P.O. box. I send them to my house. So I'm wondering if someone out there sent me something via Amazon. I don't know if I can say this out loud on the channel. The subtle art of not giving. There you go. It's blotted out with an ink blot, so I think it's okay to show here on the channel. I'm imagining that this comes as a result of some of the videos where I've mentioned negative comments. A few weeks ago now, maybe a month ago, I posted about my first year here on YouTube, including some of the sort of nastiest or ugliest comments that I've received, and you were all so kind, so supportive to back me up, tell me to totally ignore that, look past it, and maybe someone in the comments told me they were going to send me this, but I don't remember if you did or not, so thank you. I don't see a name anywhere, so for now, this is a mystery gift. If it's you, feel free to tell me in the comments or write to me privately. Thank you. I knew when I posted my very first video here on the channel that I was definitely opening myself up to opinion, and every time I post a video, I can choose whether or not comments can be posted, and I think they should always be allowed to be posted. If I ever run into, I don't know, a crazy situation, or if I'm posting something that's just too sensitive or personal, where I really don't need comments, I'm just giving an update, maybe in that situation I would turn the comments off, but otherwise I think people should always be allowed to react to something and have a dialogue. So I knew as soon as I posted my very first video here on YouTube that I was opening myself to the possibility of hearing things that I didn't want to hear, excuse me. And for the most part, I mean, people are just so supportive, and it's incredible. It makes me feel wonderful, and it's not always about me feeling good, but positive reinforcement is great. It's great to hear that someone thinks I did a good job, or it's great to hear that somebody has the same sort of opinion as me, or maybe they learned something from what I said. So all of those positives are great, but I really do love the opportunity to meet someone brand new and hear from someone that I've never heard from before. So yeah, I think part of me being here on YouTube and part of reading all the comments that come through is figuring out how to separate that from, I don't know, my actual physical person, my physical being, because people saying things from the privacy or anonymity of their keyboard or their phone or their computer, wherever they're typing these comments, it's different, typically, than what people would be comfortable saying or the way they would be comfortable saying something in person. So I have to remind myself sometimes that the tone I read or a misunderstanding is so often I get comments where people disagree with me or they tell me that, I've led people astray, but it's just a misunderstanding. Whatever their comment is about isn't actually something I said in a video. Maybe it's just something that was kind of read between the lines or something that was misheard or misunderstood. So several times we're just lost in translation. Other times it's an issue of not being able to hear tone or counter someone and actually have a conversation. So all of that to say, being here on YouTube, I have to interpret and parse these things in a different way than I would if I were just living a more private life. Well, that's fun. Do not open until the 25th of December. I wonder if that's really what they want me to do, or if it's just the box they have. I'm going to peek because I'm awful. How nice is this? Oh, that's a pretty tag. Look at those birds. I wonder if you did that because I'm a Vogel, or if it's just the tag you had. Merry Christmas, Mark. Oh, nice. It's, oh my gosh, Merry Christmas, Ned. That's so sweet. I'm touched. Oh, now I wonder. There's no other note, so I don't know if you really want me to wait for the 25th. Since I'm sitting down to film this, let's pretend it's the 25th, if you will. And I'm going to go ahead and open mine, and I hope that's okay. M&S. I meant to say this comes from England. There was a little stamp or like postmark on the box. Please do not bend. Ooh. She walks, she paints. I'm excited. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, look at this. How gorgeous is that? Let's see, on the back it says, Scottish blackface sheep. Glen Brittle? I'm not sure if that's exactly what it says or if I'm saying it right. Isle of Skye. Thanks for your order and support. Sarah. She walks, she paints. Painted on the 30th of September, 2024. Isn't that gorgeous? So now I wonder, again, I haven't seen a note. Sarah, did you send this? Or did somebody purchase this from Sarah and send it to me? I don't know. You gotta tell me. So I know where to send my gratitude. Oh my word. Okay. So now, don't get mad. I have to see what Ned's is. And Ned is out of town, so he'll watch the video. But I could tell him not to watch the video, and I could wrap his back up so he can still open it. That's what I'll probably do. He's busy. He's in Idaho singing Messiah right now, so hopefully by the time this goes up, he'll be too busy to watch it, and he'll come home, and I can give him the gift before he sees the video. I know I'm breaking all sorts of rules here. Oh my gosh. It's Ned's favorite thing in the world. Oh, look at that cow. Let's read about it. It says, Nosy Coo, Isle of Skye. Again, September 30th, 2024. Look at that coo. So when Ned and I were on our trip this summer, if you're brand new and you don't know, we were on a sort of combination of trips. Part of it was work. We were there in the United Kingdom to sing, and then we were on a very extended honeymoon, which was really special. We went all the way up to Shetland in northern Scotland, or the islands north of mainland Scotland, and we also took a steam train through northern... you're fine. Sorry. I thought he was stepping on the picture, but he's not. A steam train through northern Scotland, and we went all the way up to Mallaig, and we just spent an hour or two there while the steam train let us off for lunch, but we were right across from the Isle of Skye. So we haven't been to the Isle of Skye, but we could see it. We were close enough to see it and, dream about it, and we can't wait to go back to the United Kingdom in general, but we're really excited to go back to Scotland. We'd love to go back to Shetland and spend some more time there and see places like the Isle of Skye and several other cities and islands and just landscapes that we didn't have the chance to see. So this is glorious. You've got two of Ned's favorite creatures right here, Gus and this beautiful Highland coo. He's going to be thrilled. I'm sorry that he's not here to put his reaction into this video, but again, Sarah, if you sent these yourself, thank you. I'm blown away by your beautiful artistry and your kindness. And if this was sent by someone else, thank you. Let me know. Make sure to send me a message or comment and reveal yourself. This is incredibly thoughtful. And I can't wait for these to find a home here in the house or even here in the craft room. What do you think, buddy? I forgot that Gus loves these buttons. I think I was on Zoom once, and I was wearing this cardigan. He was sitting in front of me, and all of a sudden he just started to, grab the whole button in his mouth. And they're my nice Ikigai embroidered buttons. So he's a little stinker, trying to attack these buttons. Okay, let's pop to some of these letters on postcards. First, we've got a beautiful postcard from Boothbay Harbor, Maine, and this is from Christina and Freya, the dog. Thank you, Christina. She wrote, I can't talk. Thank you, Christina. She wrote me a really beautiful note on the back side of this. I'm excited to be able to put this up because it's really pretty. This postcard is Mount Fuji Rising Above the Clouds, and it's by Yokoyama Taikan from 1913, and this was purchased at the Tokyo National Museum. Next is a really sweet card from Michelle. I love mail. I love taking the time to write someone, and it means a lot to receive a card or a note. Then there's this card, and I don't know what country it comes from, but it did come from outside of the US. So if you recognize it, or if you were the sender, let me know. There was no signature, but it's just a sweet card. And then here's the back, in case you recognize the language or the artist. Because at first glance, I don't. I can't place it. But I love that. Next is a card from Linda in Pennsylvania. Look at this. The sheep in the bath, hand wash. Adorable. In her card, Linda says, "Knit on, my friend," and then says, "Even though we haven't met, I hope you don't mind me calling you my friend." I don't mind at all. That's what I do with everyone who watches these videos. Even though we haven't met, I really do feel that we are friends. Leave the microphone alone. Excuse me. I really do feel that we are friends. So I love that you said that. Thank you for such a beautiful card. Next is a card and a letter from Joy. And in her letter, Joy has some questions. Some will get a dedicated video later. Next is a really beautiful handwritten letter from Jody in New Zealand. And I wanted to show you this detail on it. How beautiful is that? This layered sort of applique here. In between showing you each of these cards and letters, I'm taking time to read or reread them if I had received them prior to this weekend. And it's just so moving. I love hearing about what you do. I mean, this letter from Jody, I'm just amazed at all of the experience, all of the crafting knowledge and knowledge outside of crafting you possess, and how all of that informs who you are and your relationship now with me. So I love it. To give you a general overview, Jody is a multi-craftual maker and covers everything from knitting and crochet to weaving and junk journaling. So I've learned a lot, and there's a lot to be inspired by. And the little bit I showed you on the front of the letter is a sort of layered piece that comes from the idea of junk journaling that Jody did. This next letter comes from Morgane in France, and this one made me cry when I first read it. Actually, Ned read it to me. We went to get letters from the P.O. box, and then as I was driving home, he was reading them to me. And the gist of it here was that sharing about your own crafting, just being a little bit vocal about your passion, can transform what it does for you. And Morgane said something about my video, How Knitting Saved My Life, which I know is how many people found me for the first time. And then she says, maybe knitting is saving my life too, and I didn't realize that. And the thing that made my heart soar when Ned first read this to me was that Morgane lives in a fairly remote part of the country, and said that once a year the town publishes a paper for all the residents, and this time she asked for a column, and she's going to write to the other crafters to see if they are around and if they can have a group, if they can find reasons and times to get together to have that tangible crafting community. And that just made my heart soar, because I thought that's what that's what I feel here on YouTube, being able to commune with so many crafters. And fortunately, I do have a physical crafting community where I live, but that won't always be the case. I don't know where my life will take me. I don't know, when those communities will sort of fizzle out and when they will thrive. So for those of you that say you're in a place where you haven't found that physical crafting community, do your best to put out feelers, put up a flyer, talk to your library, talk to the community center or whatever exists, and see if there are people right around you that maybe you haven't realized you have this shared passion with. So that made me really happy to read. And again, it's just so moving to hear in depth from any of you who watch the channel. So thanks for a beautiful letter. Next is a letter from Becky in Wisconsin. I just want to share a picture that she put into this letter. It's of a sweater she made, Andrea Mowry's Nurtured sweater. And it's a gorgeous sweater. It looks great. But also, look at that kitty. We're both kitties, but I love the kitty right on the sweater. This is a little Christmas card from one of my favorite people here. I'm sorry to play favorites, and I don't play favorites, but the more you comment or the more you show up to a live or a Zoom or something like that, it does cement who you are in my brain. So one of my favorite people here is Janice, and Janice sent Ned and me this sweet Christmas card. 4 out of 5 cats don't care if you have a Merry Christmas. Okay, it's actually 5 out of 5, but I care, and that's all that matters. So thanks, Janice. We love you. This is really sweet, and it always does make my day to see your comments and to hear from you. And that's true for anyone. It makes my day to see comments, for anyone to take the time to share kindness, to share what they're working on, to connect. I mean, just in life, I'm the kind of person that likes to exchange a kind word or two, at the grocery store, when I'm going about my day. I don't necessarily want to stop and talk everyone's ear off, because I know people have places to go and not everybody wants to talk to you. But I like when people are open to that human connection. And I think it makes a difference in my life. It makes every day better when people just let that guard down enough. And I know it's not always the place to do that. I mean, sometimes you need to be guarded, you need to have your wits about you, but if it's a place, your own community where you feel that you have that safety to do so, it makes a huge difference. And in this virtual situation, I feel the same way. And the last letter is another Christmas card. This is from Peter. Peter was so kind to come to Ned and I's performance at Wigmore Hall back in September, and I told the story in one of those videos, but he sent a gift to us. So he was there at the concert, and then backstage we received this gift, and it was a couple of cat-themed items, some salt and pepper shakers that looked a lot like Big Cat, and then a tea towel, which was so unexpected and really generous. So, Peter, you're another one out there that really has made such an impression on me through the acts of kindness you've taken the time to do. And I'll point out, you've probably already noticed, but these are our 3 cats, essentially. There's Scout, Gus, and then Big Cat. Okay, we've reached the point in the video where it's time for me to crack open my Christmas gift to myself. And here's our naughty little Gus, trying to discreetly attack the buttons of my cardigan. He looks like he just wants to lay down and be so cute, but I can see him. As I was making that little segue, immediately his little hand reached out and tried to grab onto a button. I know what you're doing. We all know. We all know. All right, my gift to myself is, no surprise, bags, and I think on my Christmas list or my Christmas recommendations for Ned, my husband, it said I don't need more bags, because technically I don't, so Ned, please don't be mad, but I was with my friend Elise last week in Tucson, and she is from Oregon, and she had a beautiful leather bag, so I was asking about her bag, and she said it was from Portland leather. And I told her, I've seen those bags before, but I've never purchased one. So it was her recommendation that, if I see any I like, she enjoys her bag. It's been a good experience. She uses it all the time. So then I went on, and they were having a pretty big sale. I don't know if it was like a Black Friday sale or just Christmas season sale, but it was enticing enough that I did purchase 2 bags. Neither of these bags are enormous. I have an enormous leather bag that I use pretty regularly now. It's my go-to carry-on for airplanes, so I'll continue to use that, but I wanted something that contrasts that bag. I wanted something smaller, something that serves a slightly different purpose. So hopefully I've ended up with things here that could be like rehearsal bags, things that I pop my iPad and my music scores into, maybe a snack, maybe a small knitting project, and they can be bags that I'm using in and out of rehearsals, because a lot of my crafting bags are pretty large, and I don't always take a full crafting bag into a music rehearsal, for example. Pretty. I love leather, I love bags, I always have. So I feel like a bag is a purchase that I'm rarely going to regret. I'm going to find a way to use it, or worst case scenario, if it's just not the right fit for me, it'll get passed on to someone that hopefully will use it all the time. It's beautiful. It is kind of exactly what I was imagining, something that's purse adjacent without looking the most pursy of all purses ever. When I walk into TJ Maxx, for example, I love all the bags, and I think that would be a good crafting bag, or that would be a good rehearsal bag, or travel bag, but some of them are just, I don't know, slightly too pursy for me to want to carry, because I already wear jewelry, I wear my sweaters. I don't know. I don't want to invite the opportunity for people to be hateful against me for being too feminine. And I do spend a lot of time in sort of conservative parts of the country, and I just don't want to invite that. I mean, I think I've hit a good balance. I feel comfortable. I'm myself, but I don't want to necessarily carry the most feminine looking purse to today's standards, if that makes sense. So anyway, this is my purse. I'll just say that. And it's got little straps, but then it also has a crossbody strap, so I can really tote it. It could have some heavy stuff in it. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think this is the exact bag, just in a different color, that my friend Elise was carrying last week. Hers was really worn in, had softened quite a bit. This obviously is, I guess, as stiff as it's going to be, straight from the maker. But I've got a deep pocket on the outside. Again, the two short handles, as well as the crossbody strap, which is removable. And then on the inside, it's just sort of an unfinished, gusseted bottom. And then you have this very flexible flap that comes up that's got another fairly deep pocket, which I like. My enormous leather bag is just an open tote with one pocket on the inside, two pockets on the outside, which is enough for me. I can put my wallet, keys, a couple pens, and then in the bottom goes a book, an iPad, and then I've got enough room in here for a decently small to medium-sized knitting project. And I wanted something that was very traditional as far as the leather finish. They had a lot of options, but I wanted something that wouldn't look dated in the next couple of seasons in case my taste shifts drastically. Beautiful. I like it. I don't regret it, especially since it was on sale. And I don't know if I said, but that bag was the medium crossbody tote in the finish Honey. All right, for the second bag, just in case you're interested in the details, this is the medium classic tote in cowboy blue and tan. Now, this was the trickiest part. I found two bags that I liked, the crossbody and then the traditional tote. But then once I selected it, besides choosing the finish, the color I wanted, I had to choose the size. And for the tote, I think there were 4 different size options. And I thought, that's a lot of choice. It's overwhelming. I don't know what size I need. But as I mentioned, I have an enormous tote already that's like an extra large tote, like the size of a beach bag. So I didn't want another that big. I wanted something smaller. Again, something kind of like a purse size so that I could just fit my music for rehearsals, a small project, and a couple of other things without being too clunky. Oh, cute. Stickers. Okay. I think it's beautiful. And this was the medium. So if I had done the large, I think the large would have been too big for me. And the extra large, I think, would have been on par with the large bag I have already, which is from Yukon. I don't remember the next. If it's just Yukon or Yukon bags, Yukon leather, I don't know. I love this. I love the color. And then I like that the straps contrast. Now, because of the color, this definitely looks more like a purse. I know. But that's why I have two bags. I have a bag that's more grounded and traditional in its finish, and then one that's, a little more punchy. But I'm pleased. Again, it's sort of a simple, unfinished, or, lightly finished interior. But I like that this bag has a snap here for keys or, I don't know, a clutch, a wallet, anything that you need to sort of keep in a specific place. And then again, we have that flexible pocket, so the whole thing lifts up, and it's a deep pocket there. On the outside, we just get one pocket, pretty deep pocket on the front. And already the bag feels pretty flexible. It's nice and soft. And, I should say, it's extremely lightweight. I'll show my current leather bag for contrast, and while it's a beautiful bag and it's very functional, it's extremely heavy. Even when it's empty, it's extremely heavy. So when I have it filled with things, it's like insane. So this will be a nice shift for running in and out of rehearsals, sort of a daily bag. So I love how light it is. I love the color. It's beautiful. I don't regret it. And here they are side by side. Just about the same size. The blue bag is slightly larger. This bag is a little more structured. So weight-wise, they're probably about the same. They're both lightweight. And let me grab that other bag. I'll put it up here for comparison. And then we're done. We're done with the mail, we're done with the unboxing, and we're done with the Christmas gift to myself. As always, thank you for choosing to spend a bit of time with me today. Clearly highlighted by today's video, I really appreciate hearing from you, so as always, if you have something to say, please let me know in the comments below, or you can write to me on Instagram, on Ravelry, or to my email. I've got a pretty good range of videos coming to the channel over the next couple of months, everything from finished projects to travel videos that we haven't shared yet, so make sure you're subscribed for future videos, and as always, happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy crafting to you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.